It wasn't, it had nothing to do with
All right.
education.
No, but that middle school phenomenon.
Good morning and welcome to our October Friday the 13th workshop for agenda review.
Thanks for.
Yes. Friday the 13th. All right, we will start with comments from the superintendent. Mr. Superintendent, do you have any comments or presentations?
Yes, sir. We're going to ask Ms. Joe MacArthur to come forward and give a quarterly update on what our Escambia County Public Schools Foundation has accomplished. Thank you, Joe.
Good morning.
Morning.
Happy Friday the 14th. I've got good news to share. During the first quarter, we've been really busy at the Escambia County Public Schools Foundation, and I thought it was really important that I come report to the board to let you know what we've been busy doing. Since July 1, we've added 7 new board members that are very active community partners and fill roles that we didn't have represented from our community, so I think that was really important. We've developed and executed a new strategic plan that will take us through 2027. You've probably heard in the news that we launched Tools for Teachers with the Central Warehouse. Dave Gardner and I have been working on this project for over a year. It's an online teacher resource store that will allow teachers to order classroom supplies free to them, funded by the foundation and donations that we received. You probably saw it on the news. We've been on the news a lot the last couple of weeks for that program. We had a local businessman who wanted to remain anonymous give us $50,000 that got us launched. And I have a bunch of grant money that we've received that's going to be coming in to help fund that project as well. And it will be ongoing depending on funding that we apply for and get, or that I go out there and ask for. Resiliency through the community. I don't know how familiar you are with this program, but it's funding for school district projects through the state that was funneled through the consortium of Florida Education Foundations. And we were awarded $58,500 right around the end of June. And we worked with the student services team, mental health coordinator, and protective services director at the direction of the funding, and came up with what we wanted to do with the money. And this summer we were able to send 21 local law enforcement officers and the school safety specialist, Kyle Kinzer, to Orlando to the state resource officer training. That was a great program too. The officers came back and they understand the mental health piece and de-escalating at the school and working with kids from that perspective. We also did a 2-day long training, Kyle Kinzer, with the I Love You Guys Foundation for a district reunification plan, and as a result of that, distributed 4,000 district emergency response, it's called something, Kyle, throughout the district. And I've really enjoyed working with Kyle on that project. We just received another $341,000 for that project. He and I wrote that application this summer, and that will help us execute and further coordinate the incident response efforts and threat management in Escambia County. So we're excited about that. We've applied for and received $76,000 in the Florida Matching Grant Program through the CFEF, and we're using that money to help fund our Grants for Excellence and Tools for Teachers program. Last week, as part of that, we awarded $100,000 to 17 projects that focused on literacy, low-performing students, and graduation rates in Escambia County. This year, we opened it up. They're all high-impact grants, above $2,000, from $2,000 to $7,500, and they are either school-wide or grade level or subject area. For instance, the science department for the district was rewarded a grant, which is a really cool project as well. You'll hear more about those coming forward. But we also purchased and are implementing a new donor management platform, which will allow us to keep track of and work more closely with our donors and form those relationships so that we get more money coming into the foundation to spend on our students here. We hired a new program manager part-time, so we are experiencing some growth, which is a good thing. Carrie Johnson, who's been in the workforce development department, workforce education, was full-time there, and she wanted to work part-time and heard about my position, and we're thrilled to have her on our team. She's already been a big help within the first month she's been here. We were the benefactor and participated in the Northeast Pensacola-Sertoma Dragon Boat races on September 30th at Bayview Park. We did have a school district team come together, and next year we hope we have a whole lot more school district teams come together. It was a lot of fun. We're expecting to receive about $10,000 in proceeds from that event. They haven't given me a final number yet. I'm bothering them, but we don't know yet. We are planning our second annual employee appreciation event. It will be a family fun day, December 2nd, from 10 to 1 at the Wahoo Stadium. Last year, our first one, the movie night, we had 1,800 people attend, and we moved to a daytime so that the north end of the county folks could get down here during the day. Our bus drivers and custodians that work late can be there during the day on the weekend and have some fellowship time and feel appreciated. And then our Take Stock in Children added 32 new students this year, as well as 32 new mentors. So we've got a lot going on at the foundation, and I'm loving what I'm doing. Can I answer any questions for you?
I just want to thank you and your board and the community partners, business partners that assist us in the foundation, all the things that you're doing for not just the students, but our employees. So
Yes, I've enjoyed partnering closely with the district this year in our efforts. So thank you so much. Y'all have a great weekend.
Well, I also want to thank you for all your hard work, so keep it up. Good job.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. Thank you so much. Y'all take care.
I was going to say, you have been doing a phenomenal job as the executive director of the foundation. Having served on the board of the foundation before coming to this board, they've always been a great supporter, but you have taken that up to a much higher level, and we are seeing the collaboration between our district and the foundation and seeing the results of what's going into our classrooms, the teacher toolbox. I mean, it's just amazing, the grants that you're giving. You know, we used to do really small grants, and now you're giving enough money that maybe more can happen. So I really appreciate the vision that you and your board have put forth, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you, Patty.
Yeah, I just had one question. I'm just curious, like to know how much money have you raised this year since you've started?
That's an interesting question, a lot. As we're told we get grant money in, but it hasn't actually come in yet. We've been awarded. So I like to have it in the bank before I announce that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll update you on that soon because it's getting ready to go up a lot higher.
Okay.
I want to thank you too. You have been a fireball. I mean, there's so many things that have gone on. Just the knowledge, people's understanding and awareness of the foundation and the things you've done since you've stepped in have been awesome. So I appreciate all the hard work. It doesn't go unnoticed. The foundation's always doing something, and I don't ever remember hearing of so many resources coming in. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the acknowledgement. I'm working hard, and it's paying off, like you said, Patty. So that's great. Thank you. Y'all have a great weekend. Oh, okay, Mr. Slayton.
Well, one more. I just think one of the things that's been so pivotal in this is your visibility. They know who you are. They love to see your smile coming in. They love to hear about what's going on, and you're putting the foundation back into the mainstream of our education system. And it's a tremendous effort on your part and everybody that's working with you. So thank you very, very much for everything you're doing.
I appreciate that recognition. One of my top goals when I started was to do the outreach and make people in the community and within the district aware of who the foundation is and what it is that we do. So
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Doing well. Thank you.
Take care.
Anything else, Mr. Superintendent?
Just one other item. Yesterday, Mr. St. Cyr was not present. I wanted to be sure you knew where he was. He was educating UWF education students on public education finance. So, Malia and Carolina, I'm certain, are working on that. So, but we wanted to thank you for teaching them about public financing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to move an item forward at this point with everyone's consent. We're going to item from the board, or from the board attorney, and so that we don't hold somebody hostage in the audience till the end, we're going to let Ms. Odom.
I had previously sent the board documents pertaining to another potential settlement with a vaping defendant. The board, we've previously been briefed by our outside counsel on the implications of these kinds of settlements, and no executive session was requested, but Mr. Elebash came just in case the board has any general questions about the proposed settlement with regard to this defendant.
Mr. Elebash, you want to step forward and? No?
I just want to say.
Wait, you're
we're
attorney
gonna-
and you don't want to talk?
I don't have anything to add if there are no questions.
We're going to let the legal experts handle this.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Ms. Odom, for help over 2 years now. We appreciate it very much. Thank you.
We
Appreciate
thank
it.
you. All right,
Thank you very much.
all right. Moving now into our agenda discussion, Mr. Superintendent, any changes to your agenda?
0. It's only Friday. It's only Friday. But currently, there are no additions or deletions. That's correct.
All right. It is, yeah, let's mark this one down. It's my,
Friday the 13th, we'll have it.
there you go. It's my month to bring the invocation and pledge. We have one resolution for adoption. Yeah, that was good timing. So we'll go into next. Does anyone have any comments regarding the minutes? Okay. Moving into proposed rules, we have one item to be advertised this month, changes to Chapter 2, Human Resources. Yes, Ms. Hightower.
I just want to make sure this is a continuation of the policy that we enacted, correct, Ms. Crosstag?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is an extension of the suspension of the tobacco policy. Say that 3 times
Language arts
quickly.
teacher.
And so did you talk to Mr. Wyndham, why I asked him about? Did he get those ashtrays put back into the?
Oh, no.
Sorry.
No purchase for ashtrays.
Did not tell him that.
I would like to ask, I know that there was some conversation when we implemented the policy about nicotine use, about the effect it has on our healthcare system. And have we had any increase? I guess is what I want to know. Because we suspended the policy.
The facts that are out there are still the facts. There is negative consequences with suspending it, but there's also positive consequences, potentially. We really do not know if we were able to hire anyone that was or is currently a nicotine user because of the suspension of this policy. There's nothing that we can ask, nor do we ask, if you were hired because of the suspension of the policy. So, but under the current climate of what everybody's dealing with all across the nation of staff shortages, it's probably very prudent to extend it. It may not be that we extend it again, but you know, is there additional cost? Potentially, yes. It's hard to identify those, but we know they're there.
But you're saying potential, so.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
you know, I'm actually wondering, the vaping has taken so much more of the people that were actually smoking cigarettes. It's kind of getting into, I just wonder if smoking a cigarette's kind of going down and the vaping's taking its
The
place.
percentage in Escambia County, the last time I looked, I know there was a countywide group, actually 2 countywide groups, together. Escambia and Santa Rosa had met with local hospitals, all your large employers, and had a lot of great data. From what I remember, it's been several years ago, but the rate of tobacco users, nicotine users in Escambia County was somewhere between 25 and 30%. I think it's been kind of steady. I don't know that it's really gradually or increased or decreased significantly one way or the other. You are correct, and the vaping is actually more dangerous than the cigarette use, because there's uncontrolled quantities and the amount of nicotine, or we're seeing THC.
Right.
Our student drug testing, the amount of positive marijuana tests, pre-employment, the amount of positive marijuana tests. I think that, you know, by having medical marijuana approved in the state, you know, I know Mr. Superintendent and I have had that discussion that at some point in time, you know, we know that there's that push for legalizing recreational. That's going to be a nightmare if it's done, but, you know, more than likely, I know a group that has deep pockets that's pushing for that. But yeah, you know, it's become a lot bigger of a problem just because of everybody knows about medical marijuana being legalized. And there's really not a good way of telling, was that medical marijuana, or was that actually marijuana you smoked? Did you buy it legally? Did you not buy it legally? But vaping it's a bigger problem. We're seeing it on, I know I get the dispatch reports every day, and the number of people that are, you know, caught with vaping pens and on buses and in classrooms, it's alarming.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Fetzko,
Yes.
I did want to let the board know that marijuana, while it may be, medical marijuana may be legal in the state of Florida, it is not legal under federal law. And so employment policies and discipline policies which penalize the use of cannabis products are still valid.
And I know that, I'm hoping that with the settlement on the vaping, I know that the vaping smoke is not detected by the smoke detectors that currently are in place, that we might look and replace those, because that's become a big problem at some of the high schools. One in particular, I've been notified that 3 different times pipes had to be cleared out, plumbing, because they're getting flushed and they clog up the plumbing, and 3 times last year. And so vaping is a big thing in the schools.
And I would like to ask the attorney, because I was at a meeting, whatever week that was, recently, and one of the districts, I think it was either Martin or St. Lucie, has in policy that the student that is caught with the vaping, if the plumbing, they pay for the plumbing bill.
Absolutely. If they're responsible for the damage civilly, they can be held responsible for the damage. Well, no, the parents. If the
Right.
child is a minor, the parents are responsible for the torts of their child.
Do we have to put anything in policy to make that?
Legally, do we have to? No.
Okay.
While I have read the Rights and Code of Conduct many, many times, nothing is springing to my mind that places parents on notice that they would be responsible for any intentional misconduct of their children, but that's the state of the law, and you don't have to advise citizens of every law that is in existence.
They said they had put it in policy, so that's why I
And I
asked.
was going to suggest that it might not be a bad idea.
You could run it by your group.
Sure, more notice seldom hurts.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that also, I don't know that we're looking into it, but I think there is a monitoring system now out there that will detect.
Well, Mr. Chair,
Sir.
I believe Kyle did tell us about that technology. They may be incoming to detect it.
So I can share what we talked about at September 19th is that we definitely have that system that's on the board agenda today that has the capabilities, and other districts are using that for detection, not from a sense of does it set off a detector from it being used, but are you physically carrying it? So it does have that capability. So that's on the board agenda today for review. In addition to that, I can tell you that we are exploring options for vape detection in the school. We are currently doing that and working on it.
Okay, great. Thank you. There is one item that requires a public hearing. That's changes to School Board Policy, Chapter 3 in Operations.
This was verbiage that was added to our student medication policy as a result of recent legislation that allows students to have headache medication on their person.
Counter. Consent agenda, moving now into consent agenda. Any items to be discussed, starting with curriculum?
Yes, I had one
Go ahead.
question, and I guess Mr. Wilson probably could answer this. The esports, could you explain to me just the money that was allocated to esports? What would it go toward for the military students?
I don't think she's here. So, I talked with, her name has escaped me.
Monica?
Monica, but yes, I talked with her yesterday, actually, about this further. But this esports competition is apparently one of the fastest growing sports in the United States right now. But it is, students do compete. And then she's done a lot of research connecting it with social emotional learning. And so these students will have the same requirements to attendance, GPA, behavior, all those things to be able to compete on these teams. But they are all sports related, and they will be involved in competitions. And this was the last DODEA grant that was awarded.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Mr. Wilson, the grants at these schools, it's not just the military-dependent students that participate. Every student in that school is eligible.
That's correct.
Bless you. All right, thank you. Anything else in curriculum? Next is finance, including purchasing. Human resources.
I just wanted to make one comment on Open Gate. I know that I talked to each one of you individually. I want to thank our operations staff, finance staff. They made it happen very, very quickly. We believe the items will be here somewhere between 8 to 10 weeks. And there'll be training on how to use those. We'll do standard best practices. We'll make sure that we have talked to all of our school administrators, deans, SROs, individuals that may very well be responsible for making sure these are used appropriately. It's unfortunate, but it is a necessity. And I am so thankful that we were able to secure these relatively quickly. So.
And again, at the meeting I attended a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Williams was there as well. Several, the districts are using these, and they highly recommended them.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, just, Mr. Leonard, just for public, can you explain what we're talking about here? Because they may not be catching on to
It is
this technology.
Yeah, it's, Kyle, if you want to step up, I'll do the best I can. It is a pass-through, relatively easy. It's not like you're having to stop. Pass-through, relatively easy mechanism to detect weapons, to detect vape. And it is well worth the money that we're going to spend to have it for all of our schools and or events that we host. So, Kyle, whatever you need to add to that, please do.
No, I think you got it pretty well. We've all went through, we think metal detection, this is not metal detection, it is weapon detection. So you think if you will go to the courthouse, the airport, you're taking keys out, how time consuming, how labor consuming it is to have folks that are monitoring these. What you do, you set these two pedestals up, you walk through it, and it detects weapons. Just to be clear, the vapes, there is a capability to detect vapes, but that is limited on the sensitivity and things that we're going to work through. So we are going to continue to work through this. We've been looking at this for months. It's something that, as you've noted, a lot of school districts are going to. We've taken a lot of time and effort to make sure that we get this right, to make sure we get the right product that's going to work for us, capabilities at athletic events throughout the schools, and I'm really excited. It's going to do some good things.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I want to thank you too, and thank Mr. Dennis. So this kind of technology could save lives, so appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chairman, can we loan these to the Civic Bayfront Center for graduation? Because they have the slowest procedure in Escambia County, but anyway.
We definitely can talk to them. You know, we have great partners at the Bay Center right now. Michael Capps, their general manager, just a great partner. I'm working with him on another project right now as well. So we could definitely talk through it. I will tell you, when we had Open Gate in town, because they've been in here, actually we had the presentation in this room over the summer just to take a look at it. And we had other community partners. We invited a lot of people. I don't want to mention any other names, but a lot of other people that have a lot of folks moving through quickly. Because we know that weapons aren't a unique issue to us, it's the community. So, yep.
Sure. Lastly, operations. Yes, ma'am.
I asked Ms. Davis for, but 33A is a cooperative agreement for donation of leftover food items, and I know I get comments often about all the waste in our cafeterias. And I just wanted to highlight this as a way to show that we are serious and we do care about waste.
Good morning. So some of our schools, due to the number of students we have to feed at breakfast time and time constraints, have chosen to do a grab-and-go breakfast model. And what that means is the students are required to take everything off the serving line, but oftentimes that results in a lot of waste on the back end. So the navigator at Global saw this and decided to start a share table. And when she noticed how many items she was collecting, wanted to take it a step further. So Pensacola Caring Hearts will come by every day at 8:30. They will pick up all of the items placed on the share table and then hand them out as needed to families in the community.
Awesome. Next, we have items from the superintendent. Right. We already did the items from the general counsel. This brings us to public forum. Are there no forums? We should have every meeting on the 13th.
They're looking at us in the past. They never expected at what? 9:25, we would be asking them for that, so they're probably in the parking lot.
Well, this being my last as the chair, I'll challenge any predecessors.
Nope.
Oh, we're adjourned.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
when you become a normal board member, you got to follow the next chair's orders, okay?
I have never been a
I was
normal
going to say normal
anything.
is
In fact, I told my doctor last week, he said, "This is normal." I said, "Say that again. No one's ever referred to me as normal." But, again, this is a very light agenda. I think that at this point, it's the season. We know that the months that really get to us are in the spring and early summer when all the purchasing and things are going through at that time. So we appreciate this. And anything else for the good of the order?
I just want to ask one question. Are we getting any feedback on Warrenton Middle? Are they doing pretty good, or everything?
Warrenton Preparatory Academy.
Warrenton Preparatory.
We meet with them every 2 weeks. We did not have a meeting this Monday. They canceled the meeting. They have an instructional review that BSI will be a part of it, but I think they call their instructional review Quest. Is it the October 26th? So they'll be looking at things from an academic standpoint.
And they is
BSI.
BSI will be present.
You want to say what BSI is?
Yeah,
Bureau of School Improvement.
For the public, yeah.
people out there may not know.
Yeah.
They'll be present.
We
DOE,
can make
yeah.
up our
Yeah,
own
it is
meaning
not
to those
us.
letters.
BSI.
And we'll know more about the FTE when we get through these 11 days. So far, it's like any other school. They've had bumps in the road, but our alternative ed group works hand in hand with them on a daily basis. So thank you to that team.
Ms. Odom, I apologize. And I apologize to the Bureau of School Improvement. They have been stellar working with us in our schools that struggle. So my humor got away from me. Those from the Bureau of School Improvement, I apologize. Anything else? If not, we are adjourned.